Hey, it's Alicia Soikawa, the Empowered Woman, and I want to talk about today the topic of success and thriving and not going through burnout. Because so many of you have been asking me, how do women avoid burnout? And I think it's the hardest thing to explain to someone because it's a different journey for each person. But here's some tips I wanted to share with you, because if you're a realtor like myself, or running a business, or a mom, we're in spring market, we're in the spring, lots of activities are happening, spring sports are happening, a lot of vacations are happening, spring vacations, spring break. There's so many things coming and pulling at us because we're out of the holidays. We're hopefully done with the snow. I mean, we had so much snow here in Virginia. I wanted to really talk about from burnout to balance. Like, how do you go from feeling like you're so tired and exhausted, get that energy hit you need, and be able to take off again? If this is about you and you can feel yourself hearing you in my voice, then this is for you. And the biggest thing is about women especially, that's why I want to talk about being an empowered woman, feel the need that we need to sacrifice ourselves in order to thrive. And I think that's something that we need to debunk and need to stop always sacrificing ourselves. My mom's generation, the boomers, definitely sacrificed themselves. And so I think they were a little bit resentful, and why us Gen Xers were kind of just left out there for the wolves, because they always felt like they had to give up everything to be a mom. They couldn't be a career person or mom, or if they were judged for it. There was a lot of things going on in their generation that I feel it is time for us as women in today, 2025, to really take charge and say, we're not doing that. If that's you, if you're exhausted, you're stretched thin, and you're feeling like, I don't know, you're not alone. Because I get this message all the time. All my coaching clients that are women, I get it from my neighbors, all different people in all walks of life, not just real estate or business owners, moms. Every age group feels this way. And the thing is, we don't want to just be surviving out there and taking the bare minimum. We want to thrive. And so some of the things I want to give you are thinking about 5 powerful habits you can take on to basically command what you want in this life and take charge about your life and be successful and redefine what that looks like for you. It doesn't have to be you running in the ground. I think what happens with women is that they feel like they have to be the mom. If you're going to be a mom, they have to be a wife or a partner to someone. They have to be like the best at everything they do, and they don't give themselves any room for themselves or to have a voice about what they want. Or they get looked at as, or they feel guilty. I don't know how many of you feel guilty. I hear that a lot. I just feel guilty if I do something for myself, right? If I take this hour for myself. And I want you to think about this in a different way. So if you can open your mind up and be open for some coaching, I think this would be a great way to kind of redefine how you look at things and how you can go from burnout to more balance in your life, especially if you're juggling a lot of balls like me. So habit 1 is empowered women don't confuse busy with successful. Some people think that you have to be going to equal success. And we've been told that if we're not busy 24/7 and we're not taking on every single thing, and I know I'm one to talk because it looks like I'm so busy and that I'm doing so much, and I do a lot, but I do carve time out for myself. So that's an illusion because you don't see everything. You're just seeing the things I'm posting. So the whole thing is the empowered woman, you just know if you're empowered that productivity doesn't equal doing more. Sometimes it's doing less. Sometimes it's cutting things out, right? It's about doing what really matters and moves the needles forward. So instead, I would say, try writing, you write your whole never-ending to-do list. Out of that list, and you're brain dumping it all, what are the 3 things you need to do in that moment, that day, that will really impact the things you're trying to move forward in your business, your personal life, etc. Because there's a lot of stuff that we just put on there. They're almost things that just clutter our brain, and then they kind of look at us on our list and make us feel like, oh my gosh, if I don't do this, then I'm not being productive, I'm not being successful. So that's number 1. Don't confuse busy with successful. Second habit would be set your boundaries and protect their energy. I know people, like boundaries is such a buzzword. I don't think it needs to be bad, like boundaries. I think it's just saying these are the guidelines or guardrails. I don't know if you've ever played bowling with kids and they have those little guardrails that come up so it keeps them from bouncing into the gutter. That's kind of how I look at it. Do you need to have little guardrails for you and protect those guardrails and the energy that comes with it? And it's just about understanding where your energy is and what you feel valuable. And the key thing I want to talk about is your time. That is the equalizer in the world, right? Everybody has the same amount of 24 hours. 24 hours and out of 10. Well, we're getting ready to go into daylight savings time, so we're going to losing that hour. So I'm going to take that back. Empowered women that are powerful and successful and not afraid to say no. And I will tell you this, every woman that is past the age of 40 will say, sometimes younger, will say, I've learned the power of no, and it feels so good. I remember when I was younger, in my 20s and early 30s, and just feeling I couldn't say no. And I'm like, but I can't. And I would say, but you can. You can, and it doesn't have to have an explanation. No, because no is no, and you don't have to explain. No, thank you. You could just say, unfortunately for you, it's just not going to work for me. And that's a really big thing. It's no longer about, saying and appeasing everybody, and then you feel like crap because you said yes and you didn't want to be a part of it. I think it's about knowing what's right for you. And that's what we mean about boundaries. And if it's not right for you, being okay with that and commanding and letting other people know that no is no, and that's not for me. Whatever that may be, like at an event, a commitment, a volunteer situation, just say no, just like to drugs, right? Remember that from the 80s? That's a big thing. So if you know what drains you and you're doing it anyways, I challenge you to say no. So an action step for you here would be to write 3 things down, 3 things, just 3 things that you will no longer tolerate, and put them somewhere, like on a sticky note to remind you, or put it on your phone or alarm. Because sometimes we are at a habit, we'll just say yes to things, and then afterwards you're like, shoot, I shouldn't have said yes to that. So maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's every time you talk to a certain person, it's not healthy for you. Maybe it's a food that if you eat it, you're going to feel like crap. Whatever that is for you. Maybe it's a meeting that you shouldn't go to, but you're going to go to because you feel like if you don't go to that, you won't get the promotion or the deal, but you hate it. Don't do it. It's not for you. The third habit is prioritizing rest. Wow, this is a hard one. When you prioritize rest, like it's a superpower, you can show up so much better for everybody in your life, including yourself. And it's not a reward. And I feel like we used to promote and celebrate people that could go and not rest. And rest is a necessity. It's not a reward. It's not a nice to, it is a must. And I think that's something that you need to make as a requirement for yourself. Everybody has a different requirement, how much sleep you need to truly feel rested. Some people may not need as much, but need a little nap or a power nap. That's just the way your body is. And I think you need to honor that and know where you are and know where your energy lies. Some people energies are right after lunch. Some people are mid-morning. Some people are first thing in the morning. Some people are night out. My husband's a night out. And so I think you have to know where your energy and your creativity power lies. And that's when you do all your genius work during that time. But rest is not a reward. It is a requirement. So where are you resting? And you cannot pour into what you want to achieve. You can't pour into your children, your friendships, anything really until you're rested fully. And it's going to really show effects in your body, especially as you age and get to an older age. And I can tell you right now, being the age I'm at, if I don't rest, I may be able to get by with it for a couple of days, but after that, it is bad. And so to me, it's not even worth it. So I can feel myself, I will say like, I need to call a timeout and go sleep. And I know that, and give myself permission to sleep in if I need to. And it's like a fuel thing for you, right? It's like fueling your, recharging your engines. I want you to think about where can you put non-negotiable times to recharge your body, whether it's sleeping, getting a massage, exercising, stretching, just taking care of yourself, getting, fueling yourself in that way, meditating, that gives you rest. Habit number 4 is going to be they own their morning and night routines. Now, I want to say this with a caveat with rest. It's great that it came after rest. It's because a lot of people have this idea that you have to get up at these crazy early hours. And if you do, that is awesome and more power to you. But I want people to know that don't get up that early, that you're not bad. There's no bad or good in this. It is what's right for you. And you have to know what's right for you in your life, in your season of life and business and where you're at. If you have a newborn and you're getting up multiple times at night, maybe getting up at 5 in the morning is not for you. If you stay up really late, maybe getting up early in the morning is not for you. But if you go to bed really early and you want to get up at 3, 4, and 5 in the morning and have that time, that's great. But have some type of routine when you do get up. Do something ritualistic every day that gets your mind in the habit and puts you in that groove. And that's what they mean about owning your morning and night routine. Start with gratitude, movement, your affirmations. And it's about just putting yourself in that right state. Because of putting yourself in that right state, you're going to propel into other great things. It's kind of like a momentum thing, right? When your momentum is going forward, you're going to keep going. But if you are in that negative place, it's really hard for something good to come out of that. And also at night, disconnect. A lot of times they say your morning routine really starts the night before. When are you disconnecting? When are you going to bed? When are you dimming the lights in your house? Not doing things that are charging you up. Maybe you shouldn't exercise in the middle of the night if it's going to keep you up all night. Maybe not drink that coffee late in the day that's going to affect your sleep. I don't know. It might not. Maybe not have that drink that's going to affect your sleep. Things like that are going to affect your night routine. That's what I mean. Maybe dump all that stuff out of your head that keeps you up all night long. Maybe write it all out or do a voice note, a memo to yourself. These are great habits to have, right? right? Morning and night routine. The fifth is going to be they work on their energy and not against it. And this is so great because I'm a big energy person and I think that energy is everything in the world. We talked about money as energy, but truly you can tell when there are people that have great energy or negative energy or people that fill you up or drain you. You have to understand your own natural rhythm and when you have the most energy, when you have the most creative energy, the most productive energy, the most energy to do things, and also recognizing when your body needs to shut down and you need to retreat and hibernate energy, right? Or cocoon is what I say it. Those are things that you're respecting yourself and being aware, self-aware of knowing what your body craves and needs and leaning into that is huge and will be so helpful for you as a woman. Understanding and knowing yourself also helps you know others because you can pick up biorhythms on other people, what they're going through, and you can sense things, right? It's kind of like seasonality, right? Sometimes like the whole, when it gets darker earlier, we all want to like stay inside because it's colder and have soups and be cozy and warm in the summer, out barbecuing and outside and walking and doing all these things. It's kind of like going with nature. And I think our bodies are the same way and understanding the rhythms of how our bodies flow. And every person's individual. And so that's why I say you have to figure out what works for you again and not try to do what someone tells you to do because it works for them. And I think honoring your energy leads to better results overall because you're not going against yourself. And that's what we mean about working with your energy and not against. And that is the last thing, because I think that's the biggest thing is, understanding those 5 things can help you so much in figuring out how to go from burnout to balance, because some of it's just one little thing may be off, right? One little piece of that, if you're not getting enough rest, can make you feel burned out. But wow, you have a really good night's sleep and the next day you feel incredible. So sometimes it's just a very small tweak that can change your burnout into feeling reset. Some days you just gotta tap out and call out. Like I had a really rough day twice this past week. We're in spring market and we've been go. And a lot of things are happening and I'm excited about it and I feel really grateful for it. But I felt really depleted a couple of the days and I was like, I'm out. And I really, I made sure to schedule a massage next week. Those are the things I'm starting to listen and really honor for myself. And that's why I challenge you to just think. If you have any questions about this or you're curious about more, comment below and let me know what you do, because I'm curious what other people do too. I think it's really important to know yourself, right? And as you grow older and age in this world as a woman and develop yourself in business and life, you will get to know yourself more and more and you'll fall in love with yourself. And when you fall in love with yourself, other people fall in love with you. And that's like kind of the whole path of what the Empowered Woman is about. And, step into your power and build things on your terms. And when you do that and you stand grounded in your truth in that way and knowing what works for you, doesn't work for you, the boundary piece, all those things, it kind of just all works together like a puzzle. And when you're firing in that way, it's almost like you just balance. You don't worry about the burnout because you know how to ebb and flow what you need in life. So there's no perfect, there never is, but it's about a give and take and a push and pull about where you need it. And that's why I mentioned those 5 things. And if you can think about those habits you can implement today, I bet you may see a little change in how you see life and your business and what you're trying to grow. Because sometimes it's one little thing that's off, like I said, and sometimes it's all of them, right? And so if you can tweak little by little and work day by day to make it better, I'd love to see how that works for you. And if you love this comment, I'd love a little like and subscribe. And till next time.